Hello, guys, gals, and non binary pals. Welcome to another episode of Bring It Live. Me, Lotus, and Han.
Hi.
Look a bit wishy washy today, Han. Very
A little bit.
pixelated.
Seems that way.
While Han's trying to come back through the nether, um, here at the Into the 99, we are looking to do Rielle the Everwise. One blue and a red for a 0-3 human wizard. Rielle the Everwise gets +1/+0 for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard, and whenever you discard one or more cards for the first time each turn, draw that many cards.
Hey, Luther. Hey, Heinz D. How are you?
Hey,
Yeah,
welcome, welcome.
Rielle's a fun one. That's each turn. So
Hmm?
let's do some stuff at instant speed and discard some cards. Get some value out of that, right?
Of course, of course. Because we can do it in our opponent's turn, our turn, and to get the best benefit out of it, it is wise to do it in each of those turns.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, one thing immediately screamed at me this commander,
Oh, what's
and
that?
I when I first saw this when it was first spoiled, um, I wanted to do it with that enchantment from Ikoria, but I can't.
Omnises?
That's it, Ominous's.
Yep. Omnises. So whenever you draw a card, put a Kraken counter, I believe, or something to that effect.
A foreshadow counter.
No, it's a
But
Kraken counter as far as I'm concerned.
yeah, and when you remove 8, make an 8/8.
Yep.
That was a
Seems good.
that was a deck that I was brewing in standard, and it never worked. But I feel like this is one deck that might. You could
Yep.
say it's ever wise. It is ever wise to do it.
Ooh, Luther. Mayhaps I call out the oldie goldie Firestorm. I love Firestorm. It's such a fantastic card. One red for an instant that says choose and discard X cards. Firestorm deals X damage to each of X target creatures and or players.
Cool.
So let's say we discard our hand, let's say 7 cards. We're going
Yep.
to deal 7 damage to each creature or player. X targets. So 7 targets.
I wonder if I think it now is any target.
Oh, you're looking up the Oracle text?
Yeah, it's just targets. There
Yep.
is
So any target.
hit planeswalkers if you want.
Yep. As an additional cost to cast the spell, discard X cards. The Oracle text here. Firestorm deals X damage to each of X targets. Fantastic.
Yeah, and then draw 7 cards. If you're discarding
Yep.
7.
Yeah. And this is at instant speed, no less.
Oh,
Also, Rielle loves my favorite card draw from Kamigawa. Ideas Unbound.
I think Ashen should have beat you to a Kamigawa card there, but double blue,
Should have.
Sorcery Arcane. Draw 3 cards, discard 3 cards. So that's draw 3, discard 3, draw 3. So
So 2 mana, draw 6.
draw 6, discard 3, basically.
Seems pretty good. That's at sorcery speed, so we'd be doing that on our turn.
Yeah. Depends how many arcane stuff.
Heinz D is already ahead of the curve here. Heinz D says the new harmonic prodigy sounds like fun.
G.
Yep, Strixhaven brought this around. No, I'm sorry. This is the Modern Horizons card. I thought it was the other one.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, harmonic prodigy is absolutely bonkers with Rielle because Rielle is a wizard, human wizard.
Yeah.
So, Harmonic Prodigy reads one in a red for a 1/3 human wizard with prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. If an ability of a shaman or other wizard you control triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. This means that Rael becomes whenever you discard one or more cards, draw that many cards times two.
This this is fun.
It's
S-
amazing.
Scorched
Scorch.
Earth. If you're feeling mean, says Luther. What are you
Okay.
doing? Scorched Earth. X and red. Choose and discard X land cards. Destroy X target lands.
Are we feeling mean?
It's in. I'm feeling very mean.
Ooh, okay. We're in one of those moods today. I love it. All right, all right.
Not in one of those moods. I just think that's. I think selective land destruction needed sometimes. With Field of the
Sure.
Dead's round so many. I mean, we put Field in the Dead in every deck nearly.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't suggest that card a lot.
Looking at
I don't suggest that card at all. I don't do you have no proof?
if you just go back to our previous videos. Heinz D. What's Neheb?
Mm-hmm.
Which,
So
which one?
War of the Spark Neheb. That'd be Dread Horde Champion.
Acadian Merchant, thank you for following. Neheb Dread Champion, 2 red red, trample 5/4. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, you may discard any number of cards. If you do, draw that many cards and add that much red until end of turn. You don't lose mana as steps and phases end. Oh.
Yep.
Attack, discard 3, draw another 3 off Rielle. And have the mana to
And
do
add three
stuff.
red.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that seems pretty great. Mercadian Merchant also suggests something that I really like. Cycling seems good, and Tectonic Reformation gives cycling to all lands. My buddy Pops loves this in his in his Gavi deck. Yeah, Tectonic Reformation. Let's just use our lands to just cycle every turn. Draw two by discarding the land.
God, yeah. Cycling just got so much better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a definitely good idea.
So it sounds like we're drawing a lot of cards.
Yeah.
You know what's a phenomenal card that just does work when you are drawing a ton of cards?
I'm sure that you'll have a perfectly good one there, huh?
It's an M19 card actually, Psychic Corrosion. Why don't we why don't we go ahead and just draw some cards? And every time we do, each opponent puts the top two cards of their library into their graveyard. No? It seems like fun.
It does. You've turned it into another meal deck, haven't you?
Hey, if you have it out, you have it out.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. That's
We're
fair.
drawing how many cards? We're making other people mill that many cards. Think about it.
Yeah. What's the what's that one that does something very similar? Sphinx's Revelation?
Sphinx's Revelation.
Sphinx's Revelation. I think it's the one. No, one I'm thinking.
No,
It's another blue enchantment. If you draw a card,
tutelage.
tutelage. That's the one. Thank you.
Isn't that Teferi though?
No, Sphinx's tutelage is 2 and a blue enchantment. Whenever you draw a card,
Ooh.
target opponent mills 2. If they both are non-land cards and share a color, repeat the process.
Oh yeah. Yep. That'll do it. Uh while we're on the subject though, we might as well look at Teferi's tutelage, I feel like. So Teferi's tutelage is 2 and a blue, another M21 card here, for an enchantment. When Teferi's tutelage enters the battlefield, draw a card, then discard a card. So we want to discard a card anyways. Whenever you draw a card, target opponent mills 2 cards. So along the same lines,
Yeah.
a little bit of redundancy here.
I mean, they're all the same sort of mana cost, so it's a nice card to get.
Yeah. So we've got a couple of suggestions in chat that we've missed here. Luther says Turbulent Dreams is something I wish I knew about before today. So Turbulent Dreams, what do we have here?
Double blue sorcery. As an additional cost to play Turbulent Dreams, discard X cards from. Return X target non-land permanents to their owner's hand. Oh,
Ooh,
that's
I like
going.
it.
That's going in, but that's dirty.
Hmm. I see this is gonna be a fun one. Uh, Fists of Flame. Heinz D says drawing lots of cards. Fists of Flame.
Fists
So
of
Fists of
Flame.
Flame is 1 and a red. For an instant, draw a card until end of turn. Target creature gains trample and +1/+0 for each card you've drawn this turn. Oh, okay, okay. So we're gonna put this on Rielle.
Oh, I mean, if we're gonna run lots of instants and sorceries to give Rielle the +1/+0, and then use that +1/+0 and trample, we could commander strike someone.
Yeah, and this is giving it trample too. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I see, I
Oh.
see. I like it. I like it.
Um, Macadian Merchant says Archmage Ascension. Not heard of that
Okay.
one.
Archmage Ascension, 2 and a blue for an enchantment at the beginning of each end step. If you draw two, if you drew 2 or more cards this turn, you may put a quest counter on Archmage Ascension. Okay, so it's a quest counter in
Okay.
blue. As long as Archmage Ascension has 6 or more quest counters on it, if you would draw a card, you may instead search your library for a card, put that card into your hand, then shuffle your library.
Why have I not
That
seen this
seems
before?
that seems busted. It's out of Zendikar.
And it's
Okay.
it's not even a euro. It's
Yeah.
is that not a? I need to pick one of them up.
So 6 or more quest counters on it, which we're going to be doing quite easily. And so at the beginning of each episode, so this takes a while to come online. But once it does, we're just going to search our library for a card and just tutor instead of any time we would draw.
Yeah,
Okay. Find all of our win conditions in one go.
that's filth, and I like it.
Yeah. That's pretty powerful. Okay.
Luther says breakthrough becomes playable in this deck. What's breakthrough? X and blue sorcery. Draw 4 cards, then choose X cards in your hand and discard the rest. Yeah.
Yep. So blue X, let's say it's 7 again. Draw 4 cards.
Discard.
Choose 7, right? Choose 7 cards in your hand, and then discard the rest.
I mean, even if you play it for a single blue and 0, draw 4 cards, choose 0 cards, discard the rest, and then draw them again.
Yeah, just depends on how many cards you want to keep around, I guess. So it's pretty flexible too, actually. I like it.
Yeah.
Oof.
I'm just gonna quickly
Woof.
check something.
Sure.
Library
While
thing.
laying, yep. I have that in one of my decks.
Whenever a spell or effect forces you to discard a card, you may instead discard that card to the top of your library.
Uh, yeah, the Oracle text is much more simpler. So 1 mana for the artifact that says you have no maximum hand size, and then if an effect causes you to discard a card, discard it, but you may put it on top of your library instead of into your graveyard.
Oh, so we can discard our hand and draw the cards that we just discarded back.
Hmm.
I I think that's a
Yep.
good one to put in.
Library of Lang. Yep. Gives us no maximum hand size. We like that.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Our
we're
discards
gonna
just
discard it
don't
straight to the
matter
top.
anymore.
Yep. Hmm. Yeah, I'm getting flashbacks to, Locust God, my Locust God deck for this kind of stuff now. Yeah, I mean, while we're on the subject of no maximum hand size, because we're going to be drawing so many cards, I think it's necessary. I mean, we're going to need our Reliquary Tower. I think this is one of the most perfect decks for also for things like um, Seagate Restoration.
Oh, okay.
So Seagate Restoration slash Seagate Reborn. So 4 blue for a sorcery. Draw cards equal to the number of cards in your hand plus 1. You have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. This could just replace an island real quick.
Fair.
Hey, evening, Ashen.
One of each.
Uh, yeah. And then we have Heinz D. He says, I guess we don't get around Faithless Looting, Cathartic Reunion, and Frantic Search.
We need them, I think. If we're gonna have a
Yep.
commander that needs sorceries and um, having the just pay one or pay two, discard a couple of cards to draw more cards seems really good.
Yeah. I think that's pretty great.
So Faithless Looting, Arctic Reunion, and what was the last one?
Frantic Search. I love Frantic Search. It's draw 3, discard 3, and untap 3 mana for
Yeah,
3. Oh no, draw 2 and discard 2. I apologize. Still good.
yeah, still good, still good.
3 mana, draw 4, discard 2, untap 3 lands back. Yep.
Luther back in again with a Fateful Showdown.
Oh, I love Fateful Showdown. I definitely ran that in my Locust God deck.
Two red,
2 red,
red.
red. Go ahead. Go ahead, Lotus.
Instant. Faithless Showdown deals damage to target creature or player equal to the number of cards in your hand. Discard all the cards in your hand, then draw that many cards. Ew.
Mm-hmm. We love it.
Yeah, not bad.
Heinz D says Glint Horn, Buccaneer. So 1 red, red for the Minotaur Pirate out of M20. I love this thing. 2/4 with haste. Whenever you discard a card, Glint Horn Buccaneer deals 1 damage to each opponent. 1 in a red, discard a card, draw a card. Activate this ability only if Glint Horn Buccaneer is attacking. So it's literally
S-
it might as well say boast on it, right?
Yeah, it might as well
But I
just
believe the
say
timing
we're
restriction happened.
gonna kill you by discarding our cards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. Seems pretty great. Um, so also that was the first suggestion. Braylon.
Braylon,
Braylon Sky Shark Raider.
Sky Shark.
Mm-hmm.
I've got
It's of
Sabraz.
Braylon and Shabraz. Yep, Braylon. Brall. Sky Shark is one word, that's why.
All right, there he is.
There you go. So Braylon Sky Shark Rider. 3 and a red for a 3/3 legendary human shaman. Partner with Shabraz, which we cannot do in this deck because Shabraz is Azorius.
Yep.
However, whenever you discard a card, put a +1/+1 counter on Braylon, and it deals 1 damage to each opponent. For a single red, target shark gains trample until end of turn. So nothing relevant, but yeah, Glinthorn Buccaneer effect
You
on
say it's
Braylon
not
itself.
relevant. However, what about Shark Typhoon?
Ooh,
Because we're going to be casting a lot of instants and sorceries, and Shark
yeah,
Typhoon is 5 and a blue,
let's
but
make it happen.
it has cycling, and when you cycle it, you make a shark. But whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create an XX blue shark with flying, where X is the spell's converted mana cost. I just think that's too good to pass up.
Yeah, let's just make it work.
Yeah, I mean,
Incidental value if we do have our shark out.
and if not, we can cycle it, make a shark, and draw cards.
Yep, I like it. And last but not least,
A what?
Surly Badgersaur.
A
This is
s-
in the this is in the Gavi deck as well. Three and a red for
I
a Badger Dinosaur 3/3. Whenever you discard a card, discard a creature card, excuse me, put a +1/+1 counter on Surly Badgersaur. Whenever you discard a land card, create a treasure token. Whenever you discard a non-creature non-land card, Surly Badgersaur fights up to one target creature you don't control. It's the discard. It's the waste not of red.
yeah, I can see that now. I did not know this card existed. I probably did because I bought the cycling deck. I just
Hmm.
didn't really play it very much. I just took out quite a lot of the cards. It's a
Yeah.
badger.
Best Badger.
Uh,
Luther says we're gonna need graveyard recycling.
I think so because I don't think. Well, we might do. Depends if we can Labman win, but I think we want a Labman win or just beat them with Rielle.
I mean, it's up to you. Are we
I.
how many different win cons are we going with, right? We're
It's
definitely gonna
true.
be drawing a ton of cards. Well, we could say that safely.
Well, yeah. I think we'll see how it goes, but clear the
Okay.
mind does seem like a good one.
Uh, yeah, Clear the Mind seems pretty great. Uh, we missed one. Mercadian Merchant also said, "What about Bag of Holding?" So we'll come back around to that, Mercadian Merchant. Clear the Mind.
Yep, two and a blue sorcery. Target player shuffles their graveyard into their library drawer.
Yeah.
And I'm just
So
looking at
let's
Bad
get
of Holding now.
Clear the Mind. Let's get our entire graveyard back into our library and do it all over again.
Bag of
Bag of
Holding.
Holding. Hmm. Go ahead, Lotus.
One colorless for an artifact. Whenever you discard a card, exile that card from your graveyard. Two and tap, draw a card, then discard a card. Four and tap, sacrifice Bag of Holding, return all cards exiled with Bag of Holding to their owner's hand. Quite like that. I wonder if this
Yep.
will get reprinted in the Forgotten Realms set. I'd be sad if it didn't. It is
It might.
literally the
Yeah.
D&D card.
Yeah. For sure. Uh, so besides Bag of Holding, so Elixir of Immortality is a good suggestion. I like that.
At the artifact.
Yeah. Elixir of Immortality. So we got one mana for an artifact, uh, two and tap to gain 5 life. Shuffle Elixir of Immortality and your graveyard into their owner's library. Yep. Have it out. Go ahead and do that. Gain some life, and let's do it all over again. Draw some more cards.
I know this is going to sound really sort of corny, but all of our artifacts are at the moment 1 mana. So do we just want Urza Saga? It's a land,
Sure. Yeah. It's an enchantment land.
enchantment land. It doesn't take up a slot in the deck other than a basic, and it can get
Yep.
Library of Leng, Elixir, and Bag of Holding.
All things we want. Yeah. Seems pretty great.
And the Soul Ring that we're going to put in later, even though Ashen won't like it.
No, I think we definitely want some extra mana in this deck for sure.
Yeah, I'm
All
not
right, and
bad.
the last but not least, Luther in that line says, "Learn from the past." So three and a blue for an instant. Target player shuffles his or her graveyard into his or her library. Draw a card.
It's good.
Yeah, Let's go ahead and toss that in there. Delphi Santana, never challenger. We're just catching up to chat right now, too. Quest for Ancient Secrets would be an easy trigger for this deck, says Luther AD. Ancient Secrets quest.
Okay. Single blue enchantment. Whenever a card is put into your graveyard from anywhere, you may put a quest counter on Quest for Ancient Secrets. Move 5 quest counters from Quest from Ancient Secrets and sacrifice it. Target player shuffles their graveyard into the.
Okay. So we can pull the trigger whenever, basically.
Yeah, okay.
Delphi Santana, what the hell is this card? Never come across that one before. Ashen, it's a badger. Clearly. Okay, this is in reference to the badger sword.
Oh, where is it? Oh, it's there. Surly Badgersaur.
Yeah. Ashen Ashen says, unsurprisingly, I knew it was a thing. Heinz D says Gaia Reach Sanitarium. Oh, I like that actually. I didn't even think of that one. Gaia Reach Sanitarium. Usually this goes into a lot of like Golgari decks that want some graveyard recursion type of stuff. But yeah, Gaia Reach Sanitarium, legendary land, taps to add a colorless, or 2 and tap. Each player draws a card, then discards a card. So 2 mana, draw 2
Yeah,
for us.
seems good. Yeah, I like that
Oof.
one. Ashen
So
says
we're at
Psychic Spiral.
not familiar with that one.
No, is it Kamigawa? No. I kind of expected it was from Ashen. 4 and a blue instant. Shuffle all cards from your graveyard into your library. Target player puts that many cards from the top of their library into their graveyard. Oh, I play this in Bruvac. Just
Hmm.
worked it out. I mill half my library, play this, and mill them. Yeah, I like that card.
Okay. I mean, my brain instantly, as far as all these effects, my brain goes to Echo of Eons right off the bat, just because that one has flashback on it. Because I feel like if we're discarding a bunch of cards,
Each
it's just
player,
gonna be
though.
in our graveyard. Mm-hmm.
Each player
Yeah.
shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library and draws 7 cards.
Right.
Okay, so we've got a lot of shuffling effects.
Yep.
With
And then yeah, basically it's 4 blue blue for it as a sorcery, but you flashback it for 2 and a blue.
yeah, okay, seems good. Going up in price as well.
Yeah, it is. Hand in hand with that, I'm gonna go ahead and skip down here because we just had Delphi Santana mention it. War of the Spark Narset for the mirrored draw effects and digging for things.
Each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them and put it in your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of the library. This is going to be
Yeah.
horrible, but so good. So I do want to just go back because Mercadian
Yeah.
Merchant has got a really good one that I really Lightning Storm.
What's the lightning storm do?
Okay, so Lightning
Ooh,
Storm
cold
is
snap.
1 red red for an instant. Lightning Storm deals X damage to target creature or player where X is 3 plus the number of charge counters on it. Discard a
Okay.
land card. Put 2 charge counters on Lightning Storm. You may choose new targets for it. Any player may play this ability, but only if Lightning Storm is on the stack. So there's a
Ooh,
few
okay.
things with this card. First of all, when you cast it, you must hold priority. Otherwise, you won't have the opportunity to do the discard a land part.
Okay.
So you cast it, hold priority, then discard your lands. The second thing is, I believe this is the only card in Magic's history where there's counters on a card while it's on the stack.
Right.
And
Yeah, because typically you have counters on enchantments, on creatures, but
oh,
yeah,
yep,
it's
Delphi
interesting that it's on
Santano
there.
has agreed. Yes, this is the only card in history of Magic that has counters while it's on the stack. Yeah, I was introduced to that card by Delphi Santano, and I absolutely love it.
He says the OG ad nauseum win con.
Yep.
Cool. Seems good.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, Delphi says Elixir is an old standard win con.
Don't get me
Heinz
started
D
on the
says we
Mana
shouldn't.
Monkey. Simian Spirit 8
uh,
didn't do anything wrong.
see, I just thought Ragavan when you said that one. Anyways, Heinz D says that we also shouldn't sleep on mana rocks. So, all right, let's go ahead and start adding them. So, Soul Ring.
Yep, that's Ashen's favorite.
Mm-hmm. Clearly, and Thought Vessel seems like another nice one for this type of deck. 2 mana for an artifact with no maximum hand size. Tap to
Yep.
add a colorless.
Talisman of Creativity, I think. Yep, Talisman of Creativity. I
Mm-hmm.
do like the Talisman.
Yep. You could definitely go with a talisman here.
Yep. Um,
Hmm. Yeah. Besides that,
Acadian Merchant, both Sakashimas and a Spark Double for Double Trouble. Is this you, Han? you, you and you and Macadian Merchant have the same sort of style here.
I kind of like it.
So, Sakashima of 1,000 Faces, 3 in a blue, Human Rogue, 3/1. You may have it enter as a copy of another creature you control, except it's Sakashima of 1,000 Faces, other abilities. And the legend rule does not apply to permanents you control.
Yep.
And what was the other one? Spark Double.
Spark double.
3 in a
What are
blue,
we trying to spark double here? That's my question, actually, though.
Rielle.
Well, we're just having multiple forms of Rielle.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Okay.
We can literally draw through our deck. Probably
Oh,
multiple times.
you know what's one fun one that I just thought of? Um, Key to the City seems pretty great in Rielle. Uh, so Key to the City is, I believe, hmm, is it
Two,
1 mana? I can't remember off
two
of two,
mana,
right?
2 mana artifact.
There we go. Yeah. 2 mana artifact. You tap and discard a card, which we like to do, and up to one target creature can't be blocked this turn. So let's just swing unblockable Rielle for lethal commander damage, right? And whenever the key becomes untapped, you may pay 2, and if you do, draw a card. So it's just fueling all kinds of engine.
Yeah, dirty.
Yeah, I like it. One of the few decks that I think I would run that.
Okay, so there's a lot of suggestions, so I'm just going to go back and see what I. So Luther says Drake Haven.
In case we need flying chumps.
Whenever you cycle or discard a card, you may pay 1. If you do, create a 2/2 blue Drake creature token with flying. Could just go wide with that. What was
Yeah.
the other one that was similar to that? Improbable Alliance.
Not sure which one you're talking about, so.
Improbable Alliance. 1 blue, 1 red for an enchantment. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 1/1 blue fairy creature token with flying. And then it has pay 4 blue, red, draw a card, discard a card. But if we're discarding and Riel's making us draw again, that's our second draw, which will make us a 1/1 fairy.
Okay.
Extra bodies on the battlefield.
Yeah.
Okay, Ashen's given us a Boseju.
Sage you.
for
Yep.
Seiju. Comes into play
Who
tapped.
shelters all.
Pay 2 life, add 1 colorless mana to your mana pool. If that mana be spent on any spell, it can't be countered. Yeah.
Followed up with, there we go, Kamigawa suggestion. Yep, it's in there. uh, Luther also says Mystic Redaction is more redundancy on our mill strategy. So, Mystic Redaction, Modern Horizons 2 enchantment, 2 and a blue for at the beginning of your upkeep, scry 1. Whenever you discard a card, each opponent mills 2 cards. I love it.
Okay. Yeah. So we're going to go for commander damage and mill strategy then, by the looks of it.
And drawing a bunch of cards. Yep,
Yeah.
I like it.
Desolated Lighthouse as a second Geiger. There's Marcadian.
Isolated Lighthouse. Okay.
1 blue,
Uh,
red, draw a card, discard a card. Yeah.
yep. And add a colorless otherwise. Doesn't come in tapped. Love it. Okay, so we can skip ahead a little bit here. Ashton says, shakes head, conspiracy theorist, dreamscape artist. I like the dreamscape artist a lot, but let's start with conspiracy theorist.
Okay.
Conspiracy theorists is 1 and a red from Strixhaven for a 2/2 human shaman. Whenever conspiracy theorist attacks, you may pay 1 and discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Whenever you discard 1 or more non-land cards, you may exile 1 of them from your graveyard. If you do, you may cast it this turn. Okay, interesting. Okay, so we got to attack with this guy, pay 1, discard a card, draw a card. And whenever you discard, you may exile 1 of them from your graveyard and cast it. Okay, so that's interesting. What are we trying to cast with that?
I mean, any
Any one of our...
one of our instants, we're going to keep that going on. Like, shuffle.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty
Hmm. Dreamscape Artist is the other one that was suggested by Ashen. Dreamscape Artist is 1 and a blue for a 1/1 human spell shaper. For 2 and a blue and tapping the Dreamscape Artist, you can discard a card, sacrifice a land, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield, shuffle your library. So, yeah, sacrifice a land and discard and draw off of Rielle, but also get to put 2 untapped basics into play. So,
Yeah.
ramping in blue and red.
Blue ramp and card draw.
Repeated, yeah,
Yeah.
for 3 mana, not bad. Because you get 2 of those back anyways.
Haynes D says Bedlam Reveler. Remind myself what a Bedlam Reveler. 6 red
I'm
red for a Devil Horror. It costs 1 less for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard with prowess.
ooh, I love that effect.
When
Okay.
it enters the battlefield, discard your hand and draw 3 cards.
Ooh, okay.
I like that.
Lots going on there.
That's
Yeah, people aren't gonna see that one coming at all.
no, no, I like that one.
Mercadian Merchant says Cephalid Coliseum for the draw 6. I actually just recently bought this thing. So Cephalid Coliseum is a land. It taps to add blue to your mana pool. It will deal 1 damage to you.
Yep.
However, it also has threshold for blue and tap, sacrificing Cephalid Coliseum. Target player draws 3 cards, then discards 3 cards from his or her hand.
Yeah. As you say,
Draw 6,
draw
discard 3.
6.
Yep.
This is looking really good. I like it.
Mercadian Merchant Cephalid Coliseum. That I picked that one up for my Octavia deck that I'm currently in the middle of building.
Is that the octopus?
Yeah, it's a fun one. Uh, Luther says Mirari may be fun in here. Mirari?
As in,
Just a
oh,
regular one? Mirari or Conjecture? I think he's referring. I think we're referring to the artifact, right? 5 mana for a legendary artifact. Whenever you play an instant or sorcery spell, you may pay 3. If you do, put a copy of that spell onto the stack. You may choose new targets for that copy.
I mean, yeah, if we're gonna have heavy instant and sorcery build because of Rielle's ability, I think that does really well.
Seems good, yeah.
Okay, okay. Cadian Merchant, Flagrate.
Conflagrate. Yeah, I quite like Conflagrate.
So this one is XX red. Deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and players. Flashback red red. Discard X cards. Yeah,
Yeah, it's any number of targets as far as the Oracle text.
I quite like that one.
Yeah,
So this would actually be better to discard and then play as flashback.
yeah. This could be one of the ones you discard and then you just do it as flashback cost for sure.
Yeah, I like that one.
Flashback payoff. Um, speaking of, I've got one. Rights of refusal.
Okay.
One in a blue for an instant that allows you to discard any number of cards from your hand. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 3 for each card discarded this way.
Oh,
It's
actually,
a odd counter spell, but can be very potent and
yes,
draws a bunch of cards.
pretty good.
Yeah.
There are so many cards that I have not seen, and I'm glad that they're finding a home.
uh Heinz D said, oh, I'm sorry. Mercadia Merchant says, Dak Faden as ramp. Dak Faden. Okay.
Oh, I like Dak Faden.
So our is it Planeswalker?
So Dak Faden is one blue, red, three loyalty planeswalker. +1. Target player draws two cards, then discards two. Pretty good.
Plus +1, draw 4, discard 2.
Yep. -2. Gain control of target artifact. -6. You get an emblem with whenever you cast a spell that targets one or more permanents, control of those permanents. I think we're just using it for the +1, really, aren't we?
I mean, we can use it early for the -2, I suppose, but yeah, that +1 sounds juicy with Rielle.
What's that to fairy?
Aw,
Is it Master of
what?
Time?
Mm-hmm.
So you may
The
activate
one with
this.
50 versions?
Yeah, I know. You may activate its loyalty abilities anytime you could cast an instant. Um, Draw a card, discard a card. So that's pretty good. Target creature
Yep.
phases out and take 2 turns after this one. I think that's kind of good because we can do this in each turn.
Yeah, that seems really, really good. For myself, this is just me and the history of me ever playing a Teferi. Doesn't matter what the name is. You wind up dying quite quickly
I
afterwards, in my
think
experience.
the mono blue one's not so bad.
I beg to differ personally. Anybody that ever plays a Teferi, the rest of the table, 8 times out of 10, winds up turning on you.
That's because you play dirty.
Uh-uh.
uh,
So Heinz D says deflecting swap slash fierce guardianship because we need our commander. Seems
yeah.
fair. We're in both those colors, sure. Uh Ashton says OG Tybalt.
I was wondering if you were going to skip over that because I was going to tell you off because you know how I feel about Tybalt.
Hmm.
Putting in fierce
So
guardianship and
the
deflecting spot.
Fiend Blooded. So this is the red 2 mana Tybalt that has +1 draw card, then discard a card at random. Okay. Comes in with 2 loyalty, by the way. -4 Tybalt deals damage equal to the number of cards in target player's hand to that player. Okay. -6, gain control of all creatures until end of turn. Untap them. They gain haste until end of turn.
Yeah,
Yeah. I see one down a little bit that I really like. Uh,
that one.
Mercadian.
Trying to find the other Tybalt. No.
Which Tybalt are you looking for? Rakish Instigator? No. The
Oh,
Chaotic?
that's what I was looking for. Sorry, my mind has just gone from Tybalt to Gamble.
There you go.
Search your library for a card, put that card into your hand, discard a card at random, and shuffle your library. I think the risk, but also getting the card draw off it, in my opinion, is just worth it.
Sure.
And if you get a card with flashback, if you discard it, who cares?
Yeah, I suppose that works. Um, so Mercadian Merchant says Champion is cool, dude. Champion of Wits. So
Champion of Wit.
I remember Champion of Wits. Yeah. Has It's the one that eternalizes. So 2 and a blue for a 2/1 Naga wizard. When it enters the battlefield, you may draw cards equal to its power. If you do, discard 2 cards. So when this comes in, draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards. So again, with Rielle,
Yep,
draw 4, discard 2. Now, when you eternalize it for 7, 5 blue blue, you exile Champion of Wits from your graveyard, but it comes in as a black 4/4 zombie. So when it does, you're drawing 4 cards, discarding 2. So eternalize 7, draw 6, discard 2.
yeah,
Seems okay.
seems good. Like it.
And I've never been a huge fan of the Cavaliers personally. I'll be honest, Luther.
Cavalier of Flame Dew. It's not played with. 2 red, red, red. 5 mana for a 6/5 elemental. A 1 and a red. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain haste until when it enters the battlefield. Discard any number of cards, then draw that many cards. When it dies, it deals X damage to each opponent and planeswalker they control, where X is the number of land cards in the graveyard. I like the middle ability.
I mean, also consider that if we are doing Tectonic Reformation to give everything cycling, we may have a decent number of lands in the graveyard.
And lightning storm.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah, that does synergize quite nicely.
Yeah, especially with the way that we have our deck. I could see that.
Yeah. Okay. I give up. That's good.
Uh Heinz D says attunement. Let's go. I'm not sure what that means. Can you elaborate, Heinz D?
It's a
So
card.
Mercadian Merchant. Oh, it's a card in and of itself. Okay.
Attunement is 2 and a blue. Enchantment. Return attunement to its owner's hand. Draw 3 cards. Then choose and discard 4 cards.
Hmm.
So it's an enchantment, but it acts like a sorcery. But it's repeatable continuously.
Seems
I
good.
I
Yeah.
like that in this deck.
So the one I like is coming up here. Mercadian Merchant says forbid. No, no, no. Forbid is very similar to rights of refusal. So 1 blue blue with buyback. Choose and discard 2 cards to buy it back. Counter target spell.
This is the best buyback spell I've ever seen. 3 mana to counter a spell, draw 2 cards, get your spell back.
Yeah, do it again.
This is disgusting.
I quite like it.
Luther is saying Flux, but the Weatherlight edition of the artwork. So,
Okay.
let me try and find. Are we looking at Energy Flux? No. Essence Flux? Flux. Weatherlight. So 2 and a blue sorcery. Each player chooses and discards any number of cards, then draws that many cards. draw a card.
Yeah.
So 3 mana, discard 4, draw 4, draw 1.
Yeah. Seems fine.
Yeah. Now, we've got a lot of instant sorceries in the graveyard, obviously for Rielle's ability. What was is it the Drake? Name of that Drake. Um,
Which one are you talking about?
Double blue, double red. When it enters, draw a card. Its power and toughness or
Crackling
power.
Drake.
That's the one.
Mm-hmm. Crackling Drake.
Yep. So blue, blue, red, red. For a zero, for an X4 flying Drake. Power is equal to the total number of instant sorcery cards you exile and in your graveyard. Enters the battlefield. I just think having a flying beast is worth it.
We actually have more creatures than I thought we would have, actually.
We have 13, and we also have
Yeah.
Sharp Typhoon to make more, and Improbable Alliance and Drakehaven. Okay, you giggling at?
Delphine Santano's comment. Down below. Ew, forbid is in this deck.
Yeah. Acadian Merchant, Mind Over Matter. Very busted. Okay, let's two
Yeah.
blue, 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 blue. So 6 mana for an enchantment. Choose and discard a card. Tap or untap target artifact, creature, or land. Oh my. Okay. So in someone's upkeep, you can discard a card for each land they have to tap their lands down and refill our hand with Rielle to keep doing it. That is disgusting.
Luther also says, ew, I love it in regards to that.
That is disgusting. Never run out of cut. Well, it we will run out eventually, but it's disgusting. I like it.
Well, we would run out because
It's once per
Riel is,
turn,
it's only the, right.
but still.
Luther says, wouldn't Riel only see the first trigger, though? Yeah.
Yeah, it
So,
will. But you can tap down key pieces,
yeah.
especially if they're running something like a
You know,
Ultron.
so Delphi Santana says, we Dragonauts could be nice. One blue red for a flying 1/3 fairy wizard. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, we Dragonauts gets +2/+0 until end of turn. I like it. However, here's a thought,
Okay,
because my brain just goes, we're discarding anyways. Why not anger and wonder?
sorry.
Wonder,
Okay, let me pop
comma,
that in the main maybe
anger.
board.
So wonder is 3 and a blue for a creature incarnation,
Oh, I get it now.
reprinted in Modern Horizons 2. 2/2 flyer. As long as wonder is in your graveyard and you control an island, creatures you control have flying. And anger is 3 and a red, 2/2 haste incarnation. As long as anger is in your graveyard and you control a mountain, creatures you control have haste.
Sure. Seems reasonable.
Yeah, seems all right.
Acadian Merchant says Seismic Assault is another way to blast off. Seismic Assault is triple red for another enchantment. Discard a land card. It deals 2 damage to target creature or player. Yeah?
Hmm. Yeah. All right. So, what are we up to now? Because I think it's going to start getting
We're at
pretty
98
close.
cards.
Okay. Um, okay. So I'm going to throw some suggestions in here.
Oh, hang on. Delphi
Oh,
Stefano just said Anger has Heart by Rebecca Gay. Sorry. So I think it's Judgment. Nope, that's John Avon. I think you lied to me there.
wonder, not anger.
Was it Wonder?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's already on
Yep.
distracting me.
No, saying that Wonder has the Rebecca Gay art.
Yeah, and as
It's
Luther
the
says,
one.
she's coming back to Magic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I've got a. You can immediately throw this in the maybe board suggestion. I want to throw in a mnemonic deluge. 6 blue for a sorcery. Exile target instant or sorcery card from a graveyard. Copy that card 3 times. You may cast the copies without paying their mana costs. Exile mnemonic deluge. Do you know what I always pair with this?
I have an idea.
What's your idea?
The Omniscient
No, expropriate.
on. On.
You're gonna expropriate gets discarded, so it does not get exiled. And then with mnemonic deluge, you're gonna exile expropriate to copy it 3 times.
On.
Expropriate.
They're going in the maybe board because that's just too filthy.
Expropriate, starting with you. Each player votes for time or money. For each time vote, take an extra turn. For each money vote, choose a permanent owned by the voter and gain control of it. Exile expropriate. So you're going to copy that effect 3 times. I
It's,
just want to do it.
it's disgusting, huh? This
You
is
could throw
why
that
we
straight in the
can't
maybe
have
board.
nice things.
Lies. All right, some actual things. I think Jace's Archivist is probably a really good one. One
um,
blue for the 2/2 Vidalcan Wizard. Pay a blue and tap it. Each player discards his or her hand, draws cards equal to the greatest number of cards a player discarded this way.
yeah. I had someone play this against me the other day when I was playing Commander. I was playing my Merfolk, and
Hmm.
they activated this, and I flashed in Hull Breach. It was beautiful.
Yep, seems pretty good.
Don't play Hull Breacher, it's not fair on other people.
Yeah, Delphi says how I just said ew. Um, Ashen, Ashen's suggesting Nahiri's Wrath.
Okay.
Oh, I
In a
think
red.
did we miss one?
Sorcery. As an additional cost to Ares Wrath, discard X cards. Ares Wrath deals total converted mana cost of the discarded cards, each of up to X target creatures. Planeswalker. Okay, that's cool. I like that one.
I think we missed one. Mercadian Merchant says, "Boo! Get this filth out of here! Yikes!" So Mercadian Mess says, Merchant said, the Royal Scions is quite nice here. Are quite nice. One blue and a red for legendary planeswalker Will Rowan. Comes in with 5 loyalty, +1, draw a card, discard a card. +1, target creature gets +2/+0 and gains first strike and trample until end of turn.
That's good.
I can see that. Yep. -8, draw 4 cards. When you do, Royal Silence deals damage to any target equal to the number of cards in your hand. Yep, seems good.
Yeah. And giving trample to Rielle, that's really good. And the first strike, to be honest, she's only got 3 toughness.
Yeah.
So Luther says, so thus far we've steamed clear of obvious cards like Windfall, Valerian Winds, and Wheel of Fortune.
I'd agree with the first two. Wheel of Fortune is a little expensive. Um, so Windfall, two and a blue for a sorcery. Each player discards their hand, draws cards equal to the greatest number of cards the player discarded this way. So kind of a similar effect to what we just mentioned with the Royal Scions.
Yeah.
And Tolarian wins. Forget how that's worded. Tolarian wins one and a blue. Instant discard your hand, draw that many cards, right? Hmm. I
Like it.
like it. You know what Tolarian wins reminded me of just now, though.
I can only see the professor.
I mean, sure. It actually makes me want to put a zombie in. Forgotten Creation is a card that I really like. So yeah, three. You go ahead and read it, Lotus. You can tell me. I'm gonna
Okay.
hydrate in the meantime.
3 and a blue for a 3/3 zombie horror with Skulk. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may discard all the cards in your hand. If you do, draw that many cards. Ew. 1 second,
Hmm.
actually. Yeah, good.
Luther AD says reforge the soul as a budget replacement to wheel.
Oh, it's got the miracle cost. 3 red,
Right.
red. Each player discards their hand and draws 7 cards. And that's going up
Mhm.
to €8.
Yeah, it's getting up there. Mercadian Merchant says fervent mastery is three gambles in a trench coat.
I'm sorry, what?
Fervent mastery.
In a trap. Uh,
So yeah, fervent mastery. Since you're hydrating, three red red for a sorcery. It's out of Strixhaven. You may pay two red red rather than pay this spell's mana cost. If the two red red cost was paid, an opponent discards any number of cards, then draws that many cards. Search your library for up to three cards, put them into your hand, shuffle, then discard three cards at random.
I like that.
I like
Three
it too.
gambles in a trench coat. Yeah, that caught me off guard,
All
I'll
right.
be honest.
So we're at how many cards? 105. So we actually got to start cutting
We do.
and
We
potentially add cards. Do we even still have Lab Maniac? Did you ever actually throw that in, by the way?
nope.
Okay, so that's the
We've
kind of
got
thing I'm talking about here.
we've
So
got so many shuffle effects. Do we want to win by Lab Maniac?
I'm not sure that we do, but I
I'm
feel like if we have things like Forgotten Creation out, we could potentially have like 20 cards in hand and discard 20 and draw that many cards, right? Like
I'm gonna
it,
put
it would just it would draw us like 40 actually with Rielle out.
I'm gonna put a Lab Maniac in the maybe board because I think that would be another way the deck would work. But
Right.
I just we can kill people with Vriel themselves or cards like Seismic Assault, Tectonic
Glinthorn
Reformation.
Buccaneer. Yeah, Glinthorn Buccaneer is going to be doing a lot of damage anytime we discard a card. So yeah, we have other ways to win for sure.
Do we need Wonder and Anger? Like honestly,
I mean, I like the idea of giving Rael flying, but that's just me. I think if you really wanted to, you could probably cut Anger, if
Uh,
anything of the two.
yeah. So we'll put Anger in the maybe board then.
I feel like this entire deck also does focus on Rael a lot. So protection pieces I feel like are probably necessary for Rael.
With Foot Boots and Lightning Greaves.
Lightning Greaves. What are other can anybody think of anything else for in terms of giving Rael hexproof? Because I can think of things like Lazotep plating and whatnot, but
Any that do discard stuff as well.
yeah, if there's anything particularly spicy that you guys can think of. Uh We got Luther AD saying diplomatic immunity. One in a blue for an enchantment. Aura. Enchant creature can't be the target of spells or abilities. Diplomatic immunity can't be the target of spells or abilities. Okay. That's a good one.
That is a good one. Ashen saying cut Soul Ring.
As he would.
But we can go get it with our Urza Saga.
Yeah. It seems really good.
I wouldn't play
Um,
Lightning Greaves, can't target her, and we don't have many creatures to switch them. That's a good point. So we can have diplomatic
well, diplomatic
does this.
immunity is basically Shroud, and like diplomatic immunity has Shroud, and enchanted creature has Shroud. So it's the same effect essentially.
Yeah, but we want to give Rielle trample, so we need to target it. Maybe
So maybe the Shroud effects are
we
a
want
takeout.
hexproof.
Okay.
Yeah, Heinz D, you've
So
got it right.
okay.
Um, Amp's Helm fashion. Champion Helm. 3 mana artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+2. As long as the equipped creature is legendary, it has hexproof. That works.
Yeah.
There you go. That replaces our Lightning Greaves.
Yeah, that'll work.
Nice.
Yeah,
That was
because
a good one.
I was thinking things like Lazotep plating because that'll give you and permanents you control hexproof.
Yeah.
Um, that'll also potentially protect
Oh,
our our enchantments or anything of that sort as well.
Canadian Master just said crash through. Single red for a sorcery. Creatures you control gain trample to end a turn. Draw a card. I like that. Okay, so we're at 107 now. um, I need to stop. So, if there's any cards in here that you think are better upgrades, or there's a card that would replace it, please let us know. We do need to start cutting, hence why I say upgrades. Um, are any cards in here that you feel shouldn't be in here and we could take out?
I'm just looking through them right now. Let's see.
Okay, Ashen, you say Soul Ring needs to go. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put in Arcane Signet. Drake's Haven
uh,
seems a bit pricey. I can see it getting expensive. Cost us 1 for every card. See that? Not looking to go super wide. We're looking to deal with Rielle. So maybe this one as well. Then Probable Alliance could go. Then that's incidental. Maybe not.
I think Archmage Ascension, as much as I love the ability to tutor for everything, that's potentially going to require it to stay on the battlefield for 6 turns because it's at the beginning of each end step. Oh, each end step. So it might be just one time and a half around the table, right?
Yeah.
But that's if you draw 2 or more cards this turn. Okay.
Yeah, if we discard 2 cards, draw 2 cards.
I see, I see. Okay, I like it better than I thought.
Yeah. uh, really struggling to find things to cut for at the minute. Um, I know
Quest for Ancient Secrets, maybe?
Quest for Ancients.
Yeah, because we do have other abilities that allow us to shuffle graveyards into libraries, I feel like.
Yeah, we have got a lot of them. Delphi Sartano, I'm out. I just realised you're running Sphinx's tutelage, you monsters. Um, yeah, that's the only card that I am that Delphi Santano has raged quit anywhere, and it makes me laugh. I'm gonna get you a framed picture. Give that to you for your birthday,
Yeah, just so you know, that was the one that Lotus decided to seek out herself.
just for you.
Just for you, apparently.
That's because you're mean.
That's because Heinz D says the Cavalier and the Crackling Drake could go.
Yeah,
Um,
Crackling
I
Jake
think the
doesn't do
Crackling Drake
enough.
for sure. Cavalier I like, but I can also see it being cut because we have other things that do that as well.
Yeah,
Uh, hmm.
we're 103. So we're doing good.
Okay.
Hey,
Mirari for the same idea that we had earlier. It just costs a lot to do.
yeah, it's paying 3 on top of anything, plus it's 5 to get out. Seems fair. I'm still not so sure on Wonder, to be honest.
I mean, you can baby board it. I'm fine with that.
And Narset's the other one that's screaming out at me.
Why?
It's making them only. They can only draw one card each turn, but we're making them mill with Teferi's tutelage, Sphinx's tutelage, Psychic Corrosion, Mystic Redaction.
Right.
So surely them drawing more cards help than us mill more.
Sure.
So I'm gonna maybe board the Narset, but it's not out the deck. It's just maybe that's a different way we can go.
That's fair.
We're at 100 cards, so we've got no room to add. We've got room to switch.
Right. Um, Psychic Spiral seems expensive for that same effect when we have Learn from the Past right next to it.
Psychic Spiral?
Yeah, it's under instance.
Oh, yeah.
So shuffle cards from your graveyard to the library. Target player puts that many cards on top of his library into his graveyard.
It's
So
fair.
I think Learn from the Past is the one, as well as Clear the Mind. They're both, Clear the Mind is 3, Learn from the Past is 4 to have those effects.
Okay.
So with that, I think Solve the Equation seems fine. I don't think we ever talked about that, but it's just find instant or sorcery card, reveal it, put it into your hand. I think that's pretty good in this deck.
Yeah, go find a shuffler effect.
The only other things that I'm thinking of off the top of my head, we don't have a dockside yet.
On. Yeah.
Just saying, we
So
don't.
Heinz D has also said they're not so sure on the Sakashima and Spark double. So
I would
I
say if we're doing one or the other, I would say just do the Sakashima, if anything.
yeah,
Well, Spark Double's cheaper
they're the
in terms
same.
of monetary value, is what I was thinking.
Well, yeah. Um
So I think for me, it'd be Spark Double and Sakashima out, just because we don't try to break the legend rule that much, I don't think, in this deck.
no, what we at? We're at 100. Yeah, no, that makes
And yeah, we do
sense.
play some walkers, so that way we keep the Spark Double to double up on the Planeswalkers.
Canadian Merchant says Nezahal. Primal
If we
Tide.
wanted to put in Nezahal, I would be okay with swapping out like the Champion of Wits if you're trying to do something like that. Because it's
5
the same
blue,
mana
blue,
cost for the
7, 7.
Eternalize effect.
Can't be countered. No maximum hand size. Whenever opponent casts a non-creature spell, draw a card, discard 3 cards. Turn it, exile it, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. That's a good sack out, a discard outlet as well.
Yep.
What are we swapping it for?
I would say Champion of Wits
Yeah,
because the Eternalize cost is 7, if we're doing that.
makes sense. Heinz D says maybe include Chandra's Ignition as a finisher or board wipe.
Not the worst suggestion, for sure.
Red, red. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power, each other creature, and each opponent. I mean, if Rielle's getting huge, then yeah, that would be a finish.
So here's my question, right? So sorceries and instants, how many are we looking at right now?
Total of 29, so a third of the deck.
Okay, and we're at 101.
Yep,
So if we have everything in our graveyard, we can get plus 20, 29-3 on Rielle. Okay,
yep.
interesting.
And don't forget, we can kill someone that's probably lower health than 40.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm just thinking in terms of one-shotting though. Okay. Let's see. So I'm trying to think of creatures to swap out.
For what?
We're at 101, right?
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Um, Conspiracy Theorist seems good. I mean, these are all pretty solid in this deck, I think.
Did you want to cut to fairy because you said that makes us a target?
I mean, I'm okay with that. I think Dak Faden and Royal Silence both do more for 3.
Yeah. I personally would probably be running the Teferi, and that's just my play style. But the Royal Science and Dak Faden just do so much as well. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I've missed anything that I really want to talk about. Um, Something to consider if you really wanted to fairy card is the Ageless Insight. I don't suppose that's not the word. I suppose that's not bad. Uh, 2 blue blue for legendary enchantment. If you draw a card except the first one, you just draw 2 instead.
That would really deck ourselves. I would
Yeah.
say we'll maybe board it if we're going the Lab Man route. Um, that
Yeah, I
would
think
be a very good
throw
way of
that
doing
in.
it.
Command Beacon in place of a basic if commander becomes too pricey. I don't see that being too much of a problem, but yeah, I could see that for sure.
I
Just
mean,
throw it in, might as well.
yeah, I mean, it doesn't take a slot. It's just good, and we're going to be casting our commander as much as possible.
Right. What are your thoughts on Blood Moon? No?
Why? Why do we need a
Ah,
blood moon? We have,
because it sounds like we're doing some mean things.
yeah, we're not.
Just throwing it out there.
Yes, you are. So our average mana curve is 2.95.
Mercadian Emergence is why though.
Don't listen to Han. I just
Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. I mean, it's got some beautiful art. If you
does.
really want a reason, just saying. I quite like that new art from Double Masters personally. So, um,
Got me curious.
ooh, what do we have a Magus of the Bazaar in? That seems really good actually.
Magus of the Bazaar. One and a blue. Draw two, then discard three. We don't have this. No.
I mean, just tap it and draw 5, discard 3.
we go. Yeah,
It seems like real good value at 2.
now we need a cut.
Um,
You're making
yeah,
it.
I know. Trying to find something to cut. Uh, Cathartic Reunion, sorcery speed, discards 2, draws 3 cards. It's just the creature version, and we can get repeated value out of it.
Through, I'll do it, but we can't cut too many instant sorceries because Rielle's power is equal
Right,
to
right,
that.
right. I'm just saying it just seems like a even trade. That's all. Ooh. Luther says Primal Amulet may be spell reduction into spell duping.
Okay. Uh,
Yeah, it took
Primal.
me a second, Luther. I was like, spell.
Instant sorceries cost 1 less. Whenever you cast an instant, they'll put a charge counter on it. If there are 3 or more charge counters on it, move those counters and transform
You're
it.
good, Luther. No worries.
And then tap, add 1 mana of any color. When that mana is spent to cast an instant spell, copy that spell and you make targets for the copy. I like that. I'm going to put that in and I'm going to take out Arcane Signet because mana reduction. 1 mana
Oh man,
producing mana.
I'm forgetting the blue card.
Island?
No. Oh, it's a pet card of mine. I'm forgetting it. The name of it. It's I believe 3 CMC. It's a sorcery. Uh, each player must pay like 1, 2, or 3 mana, and if they can't, they have to sacrifice the creature.
I'm sure Ashton will type in chat what that is in a few seconds.
Man, it's a good removal spell. Doesn't see a lot of play, but we're not running that many creatures in the deck.
Fair. Mercadian Merchant said Baby Jace, the place of any other looter. As we, if we have any, he needs some love. Jace Vynn's Prodigy. Adept. There you go. Yeah. Oh no, that's Party Chick. I always forget which one Baby Jace is. Which one's Baby Jace?
Baby Jace, like the are we talking about the creature? Friend's Prodigy?
Oh,
Oh, Fade Away.
Fade Away.
Mm-hmm. It's a sorcery. 2 and a blue. For each creature, its controller sacrifices a permanent, unless they pay 1. We're
That's
not running that many creatures.
no, but it's. I don't think this is the type of deck this is for, though.
I think it's a fantastic little board wipe, personally.
I'm gonna maybe board that one just because.
It's so good. But yeah, that's fair.
Okay, so I'm not sure what else we need because I'm quite liking where this is at the minute.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Forbidden Or whenever you tap, target opponent creates a 1/1 color spirit creature token. Oh, right, for the fade away. Yeah, you're all monsters.
I like the way you think, Luther.
See, I'd put it in with Varchild to be perfectly.
And also, we're all monsters. You're the one that looked up Sphinx's tutelage.
True. But no, if I was running Fade Away, I'd run it in a Var Child sort of scenario where you just give loads of people 1/1 survivors.
Sure.
We're all
Yeah,
monsters here.
you
Yeah.
could do that. You could do things like Amphin Mutineer. Give
Is
somebody
it the Crow and Horse?
Salaman. Ooh, a crow and horse would work really well for that, yeah.
Yeah. That's another deck. No, I think this deck's pretty much done. I quite
I'm
like it.
happy with it.
Yeah.
Any particular like utility lands that you can think of that we probably should add here? Like I can think of like Mystic Sanctuary right off the bat.
I mean, adding cards back to the top of our library is pretty good. It's a land, it's an
Um,
island. Comes in untapped if you control three or more other islands. It enters the battlefield untapped. You may put target card from your graveyard on top of your.
right. Um, and then I don't know. What do you think? Things like Castle Vantress.
I think Castle Vantress is a good one in this situation. Scry too. Don't think don't think we need the red one.
You know what? I am surprised you haven't mentioned Lotus.
What's that?
We're in blue. You haven't mentioned any Flash.
I didn't want to go flash again.
Just throwing it out there
I
again.
know Vidalcan Ori and things like that, but
I mean, Leyline,
yeah.
yeah.
Witch's Clinic might do fun stuff in this.
Ooh, you are not wrong there, Z. That is a spicy one. Rielle swinging for, I don't know, 15, giving you 15 life.
Yeah,
Yeah, Witch's Clinic.
I need to buy one of
Tap
them.
for a colorless. Tap for a colorless. Yeah, target commander gets lifelink until end of turn for paying 2 and tapping it, I think.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a good
Good
card.
call.
Search for Azcanta is a nice land. I mean, we're gonna put it in the
Again,
land slot, yeah. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into your
sure.
graveyard. Then, if you have 7 or more
Yep.
cards, flip it. And on the other side is the legendary land, 2 and blue. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them. Put it into. So I'm
Yeah.
cutting a land
Island.
for that. Yep, there we go.
Yeah. Seems good.
Yeah, that's a very good land. Oh, I'm quite happy with this.
Technically. But yeah.
100 cards, yeah. Oh, I think this is really good. Obviously, we
Yep.
can add in dual lands. Scalding Tarns is there now a bit more available. Steam Vents, um, Swift Water Cliffs, all the fetches like Evolving Wilds, Terramorphic Expanse, Fable Passage. Make it easier, but that's down to your own preference. Myriad
Ooh,
Landscape. Yep.
you know what we did forget? Ristic Study. We did forget that. It's a really good draw engine.
Okay, Han. We're drawing so much as it is. I I personally think this is a deck where Ristic Study is a dangerous card for us.
Oh, what are your thoughts on Jace's Sanctum then? Because that's actually fairly relevant. Um, maybe board probably then, I guess.
Okay.
But Jace's Sanctum, 3 and a blue for an enchantment. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, scry 1.
Yeah, I think that's a maybe board. Maybe depending on your circumstance of how you want to play the deck.
That's fair. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'm good with it.
Don't forget training ground as a
Training center.
training center. Oh right, yes. Battle bond
Yeah.
lands. No, that's understandable. Yeah, shovel those in, make it good manner efficient budget. Yeah,
Yeah.
fiery islet.
Yeah. The pay 1 life for blue or red.
Yeah,
You can also sacrifice it to draw a card. But yeah, all seems good. Yeah, mana base, you guys can go ahead and tweak to your liking. But yeah, it seems good as it is though.
yeah. What I'll do as well is I'll put the link to this deck list on the Into the 99 website within the next 30 minutes. You can grab it, copy it, edit it in your own deck building sites. Um, but $300, pretty reasonable to be fair. Quite a lot of
Yeah.
these are common, so there must be like one or two that are just racking up the price. Deflecting swap, fearful guardianship. There's $100 right there.
I just noticed though, I was looking through our creatures. Harmonic Prodigy. So any shaman or wizard, the ability triggers an additional time. So other wizards we have are Jace's Archivist. So each player discards their hand and then draws cards equal to the greatest number of cards a player discarded this way. That can happen twice.
So, Magus of the
Also,
Bazaar.
Magus of the Bazaar is gonna draw 2 cards, discard 3 cards twice.
Yeah, that could be
Seems
quite
good.
funny.
Yeah, I don't know that we have any shamans in here, but yeah, that's some excellent value.
Prodigy is only triggers, so as yeah,
Ooh,
they're activated abilities.
we do have a shaman. Conspiracy theorist. Happens twice.
Congrats, folks! We've created something horrifying. So beautiful.
I love it. I love it so much.
But I'm happy with this. Are you happy, hon?
Yeah, man. Conspiracy theorist. Whenever you discard 1 or more non-land cards, you may exile one of them from your graveyard. If you do, you may cast it this turn. You can do that twice.
Nuts.
Yep. But I'm happy. Let's roll with this.
Yeah.
Behold, says Mercadia Merchant.
But yeah, I'll get this up on the website within the next 30 minutes so you can get the link. Um, don't know what we're doing next week. If anyone has a suggestion in chat in the next few minutes, shove it in. We'll see what we can do. Um, otherwise, thanks to everyone to isn't Captain Shark a shaman? Uh, he is a shaman. Ew.
I'll be damned.
Yeah, sure. Um, the new Torok. That's an interesting one. The new Torok.
I'll have
Have
to
a
take a look at it.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that one. But otherwise, thank you everyone for joining us this evening for another episode of Brewing It Live. It's been great, and we can't do this literally without you guys. Um, if you'd like to see more, go to our website into the99.com. There'll be articles, YouTube videos. We also have the link to our Discord community so you can actually chat to us, brew with us live in there as well. Also, the links to our Patreon and our merch can actually support us in a more financial way as well. Otherwise, we'll be back this time. Well, not this time, but 9 o'clock GMT. What time is it for you, Han?
4.
Or EST?
Yep. 4
Every
p.m.
set,
EST.
every Saturday. But that's all from us. Thanks for joining us, and see you next week.
See you. Have a good one.
Have a good one and be safe. Bye.
Bye.
Damn you home.